I don't want to get lost in this, but I haven't showed you anywhere how to use this except in the program WinStar defaults, which you have with your downloads of the RASA classes. And if you haven't, you can contact the forum or contact me, and we'll try and get them to you. Okay. Now this shows the search planets. This is giving aspects from the moon out to Pluto, and these are target planets in the natal chart. So first of all, we're not watching we're not doing aspects to the nodes. We're not doing aspects to Neptune, Pluto, Uranus, and really I would take off. Well, in this case, we're only going to look at Saturn aspects. We're going to close off all of these aspects. Oh no, targets. Yeah, we're just going to turn off all of these. We look at just the aspects to Saturn, and we don't want Moon aspects, Sun aspects, Mercury aspects, Venus, Mars, or Jupiter, or Uranus, or Neptune, or Pluto. You can get any combination of them. I just want Saturn to Saturn. And I want the hard aspects, hard for conjunctions, squares, and oppositions. And now, then I'll go, okay. And it'll come up here, you see, on this graph, the search is transit to natal, Saturn to Saturn, the aspect set. Now, I can save this. So if I go to save this, so you can save it for other charts, you can leave it at years 90, but what I would do is I would stick an asterisk RASA dash here for years 90. And this way it'll come up at the top of your menu. I'm not going to save it because I already have it saved, but that you save it and it'll where it will be. So I'll show you where it is after, but this is set up the function to do your search. Now we do okay. And here we go. It's way down here, but if we started from the beginning of my life, there's Saturn conjunct, and you'll see here it's exact, it's leaving, it's entering the degree, exact, leaving. So it's hard to read because there's so much data, but that's the chart that I have here. I have this, and I just highlighted the conjunctions, left the squares, the oppositions, and then you have to look exact, leave. So for the first month of my life, for first 2 weeks, October 17th to 11th, it's within the 1 degree. Then it left, it came back in November 29th. It was exact December 25th, and it left on January 8th. So then from November to January, 47 Saturn was conjunct Saturn. So that would be a line on my, or that would be marked on my circle of graphs, the dates. So these are the dates that are going to go on the wheel, and it puts them down. This has it. This one has it for, it goes down to 2028, and then it goes to a second page, which takes up to 36. So this really is the, here, that one. This is our Saturn graph. So this was the purple lines, the Saturn to Saturn, and all the dates are given. So I would just have these lines drawn in. I'd have this print out, and I'd come and mark in the dates that when they come in. I have to pay a little attention to like I print it out, so I work with it. But you can do it just on the screen if you have to, but you just have to watch the enter and leave. And sometimes if you're using more planets, they can overlap. This won't overlap. This will just, it'll be, in this case, it's the first 2 months. Then it's the next three lines from November to January. The next one is going to be from June to September to July. So you can follow this through and see the exact phases, the exact timings that we're looking for to put on our graph. And it does it for 90 years that fast. And then you have it saved up here. So you see, I have a 2 years thing. There's the 8-year ones for Uranus, Neptune, Pluto, and here's the 90 years for Saturn. So I said year Saturn, but RASA, I should have put Saturn, RASA, Saturn, 90 years. So, but that way, by putting the asterisk and the RASA before it, it puts it up before all of these other choices that are all of the other setups that are there, which are useful but not organized as well as we organize it for ourselves. Okay, so this is the way to do Saturn to Saturn. So then if I want to do Saturn to the Sun, I would go and look for the Saturn 90 years, but I have Saturn to the Ascendant and Saturn to the Sun 90 years. I can pick that up. But I'm not going to do that. I would re-enter it here. I go into here. You have the search factor, and you go and you see this Saturn. It says edit here. Hit edit. It comes up. And I would take off the target planet, take off the Saturn, add the Sun. Turn it on. Now you see Saturn to the Sun. It's still got it for the 90 years. I put OK. Boom. As Saturn square the Sun has the exact leave, enter, exact leave. Sometimes we enter leave, it won't get exact. So sometimes it might be 2. Sometimes you have to just look at that. But it still organizes in the sequence and in the dates that we need them for our graph. When you get to the ascendant, descendant, okay, re-enter search. So we come up, I come up to re-enter this. So I'm going to edit this. I want, now we're not looking for the squares. We want the, it only has the ascendant and descendant. So we want the ascendant and this, and do I have it here? Squares. Oh no, further up, there's one of the options under the aspects that says conjunctions and oppositions. I would set that here, conjunctions and oppositions of Saturn to the ascendant. So I'll do the Saturn to the ascendant. That set is changed. And it's just doing conjunctions and oppositions. So it's doing the conjunction to the ascendant and then the conjunction to the descendant. Then I'll do the midheaven separately because they're not always square each other. So this gets rid of having the squares and having all the other calculations in. Once I have that, it has the same dates, I go okay. And you see conjuncts the ascendant, opposes the ascendant, conjuncts the ascendant, here just conjuncted the ascendant once for 3 times from 78, August to September, just went over it in one run. But sometimes like it'll go over, it gives you, if it hits 2 or 3 hits, it'll tell you when it's backing up, going over it, not. And it also, by doing this way, sometimes a planet will retrograde and go back and not quite go back to the exact aspect, but go back a few minutes from a degree away from it. It's still acting like an exact aspect, it doesn't conjunct it, and a regular transit search won't show it, it will disappear. So it's really important to have the applying, leaving to do these graphs, to have these dates. It'll fill it in. This does to the ascendant. Then if I wanted to change it again, I go in, I went into the re-enter search, I come back, see I have the enter leave check, I'm just going to change the ascendant to the MC, and I still have the aspects, the selection for the aspects as conjunction and opposition. I hit OK. Now, once you have this there, you can just go up to the top and print it, print search the printer. You can print it to the printer, or you can print it to a PDF file and then go in and highlight that PDF file and work with that if you want. I always print it out to the PDF file, so I'm not just working on this. Then I can mark it up and highlight it. But this does a conjunction and opposition to the midheaven. So it gives us our other 4 points. This will give you the Saturn graph in a very short time. You got all the calculations. The only effort there is reading the chart and writing it in on the graph. And I don't expect you have to do it by computer or anything. Print the chart out and just use a ruler and write these lines in with the 3 different colored pens or pencils and write the dates in, and you got it. It's not going to take as long. It's not going to be as long. It's still going to take about take 15, 20 minutes, half an hour to do this. But you've done it for a lifetime, and anytime you see that person for any time in the rest of their life, you've already got this done to walk in and talk to them. It's incredible. Okay, so that's these ones. Now, if we wanted to, we can do the same thing, like re-enter search. Only now we're going to change the search to, let's edit the search, and we're going to make it just, we're going to leave the enter leave. But we're going to say we're just going to look at Pluto, but we want Pluto hitting the ascendant, midheaven, moon, sun, Mercury, Venus, Mars. Oh, you could even put Jupiter or Saturn in there too. So for Pluto, Uranus, and Neptune, we can put these whole bunch in, and then we said that's okay. So now we see Pluto to the whole bunch of them, but it's still set for the conjunction, for the aspect set. So we still have some more editing to do. We still got to come back here, go into aspects, and go back to the conjunction squares and opposition. I have it as RASA hard 4, just conjunction squares opposition. plus or minus 1 degree. That's the applying separating. And events, enter leave. See, when you're doing this for a long time, you put enter sign, enter houses, but I don't want that. We just want the aspects and the true node. That's it. So then we got, okay, that comes here, but we don't want these years. We're going to do this for, what years am I working with my year graph here? It might seem a lot at first. This is going to be second nature for you in no time. But we're going to do this for the years. These are 8-year samples. 69 to 60, going from 66 to 73. Okay, so we're back in here. I'm going to change this to 1966. I'm going to start at the January 1st. We're doing for the January 1st, 66. And I don't think it gives us, it doesn't give us an option for, it gives us an option of 5 years or 10 years. You can do the 10 years, but let's just set it for the 8 years that we want, 1966 to 1974. I'm going fast, but you can replay this if you have to see this way of going in. I've done all of this numerous times with and how to set all these up and the defaults for WinStar PDF that explains these in static graphics. But here you have it just as we're talking as we do it. So we've got Pluto. We got 1966 to 74. It's no longer 90 years. So we would probably have to say it's custom. Whoops, changed it. So 74 we want. 1974. Pluto to all the planets. We're looking for hard aspects. Now we go, okay. No hits were found. So I have no Pluto aspects in those 8 years. Whoa, lucky. So let's go re-enter the search. It's still set up there. Well, let's try it for, we'll edit it. And we'll change it to Neptune. Same target planets in your chart. We're just not doing aspects to Uranus, Neptune, or Pluto, or the nodes, just to the main ones. And we'll come up with Neptune. And here's Neptune, 69 to 73. Neptune, opposed to midheaven, conjunct to the IC, conjunct Venus, opposed to midheaven, conjunct Venus, opposed to midheaven, conjunct Venus, opposed to midheaven, conjunct Venus, opposed conjunct Venus, then squared the ascendant. So it's active the whole time. From 69, actually, it's not the whole time. So when I see this, so we're going to do that. And then if we want to go back, I would print this out. Either as I would print it as a PDF, so I have a record on the computer, and then print the PDF, so I have a printout that I can mark up and work with. So if we wanted to, well, I'm not doing that. I'm just gonna. I have these all set. So once you save the format, you end up with them all. Say all the formats: 8-year transit Neptune, 8-year transit. They're all saved here. But I'm just going back and forth so you get used to seeing this. So here we go. We'll re-enter the search. This one at the bottom left, it comes up. Here's the search. We're going to edit it. We're going to change Neptune to Uranus. Okay, everything else is staying the same. The dates are staying the same. And we hit OK. Now we got the trend. So in 70, there's nothing in 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71. It's just 72 and 73. Uranus squares my moon and conjuncts my sun.